Hey there, Forex traders. It's Kim Krompass from the Price Action Traders Institute with a Forex trading analysis video. It is Tuesday, July 11th, and today I want to talk about the euro dollar. This morning when we got up, the markets were somewhat flat and somewhat in ranges on many of the pairs that we look at. But today the euro dollar, in response to some news that came out, which I'll talk about in a little bit, really made a big move. So let's go ahead and get into it. Before we do that, I just want to remind everyone that trading carries a substantial amount of risk and that each trader, of course, is responsible for their own account, for managing their losses, for managing their wins, and just knowing what they want to do and when to do it. The first thing we want to talk about before we take any trade is always we want to have a trade plan. I teach Forex traders how to have one of the simplest trade plans out there. No special indicators, no special software, no special skills are even needed. You just have to know how to look at a chart and understand or start to understand price movement. This morning on the euro dollar, when we did our trade planning session, our live trade planning session with the members, what you're looking at here is a screenshot of the video screen capture from that trade planning session. And this morning we had the euro dollar stuck in a range, so price really had no direction yet. We were looking for price to either break the lows so we could sell it or break the highs so we could buy it. What price ended up doing was breaking the range, which we call RBO, or range breakout. And here's a screenshot of the actual trade. So here's the high of the range. Price broke out and closed right on a line. So traders have a decision here. They can either stay with this trade if it's a close on the line, on the breaking line, or they can pull the trade off and try a new break right above the most recent high. I decided to stay in that trade and see what would happen. So the next thing you want to do is, while you're targeting, or if you haven't reached a target yet, you want to start to think about moving the stop. However, the market conditions lately have been such that we usually go right to target and then punch out or limit our trade actually at target. But this morning it was a little bit different. This morning price actually began to move, and the reason it began to move was there was news that came out about Donald Trump Jr. and some emails about him and Paul Manafort and Jared Kushner meeting with the Russians to get some dirt on Hillary Clinton. So that moved the dollar a lot, and the euro was the one that seemed to really react to it. So you can see here from my tweet that at this time I had locked in 30 pips right here as price started to take off and extend up towards my limit up at the 80. I was targeting up here at the 80. And then here's a final screenshot of the trade itself. Now, as that big candle was moving, if you recall, I had moved my stop to lock in 30. I now moved it right around this area to lock in 45. That was my line of happiness. In other words, if price whipped around and came back at me, I wanted to come out with at least 45 pips. With an 8 pip stop, that is, what, 5.5 times my risk, which is a really good risk to reward outcome. So you can see up here was my target up at 80 that I had shown you on the previous slide, and price did not quite make it up. It came within 1 or 2 pips of 80 and then started to pull back, and I punched out with plus 63 pips on this trade. All right, so once that news came out about the emails from Donald Trump Jr., the market in the euro in particular really reacted to that news. All right, so that's it. Keep your plan simple so that you can execute it. Know where your targets are and understand that if there's something that's going to move the market, that you can press a trade like you saw me do this morning on the euro. If you have any questions, you can reach me at priceactiontradersinstitute@gmail.com. All right, that's it. Thanks a lot for listening.